At Vibra Finance, we seek out the hidden gems in cryptocurrency. We will tailor your portfolio to work for you. Are you ready to transition your investments from traditional markets to cryptocurrency? Are your coins staked and earning interest? Are you overwhelmed with all the jargon in crypto? Is your portfolio underperforming and you want to reposition into consistent winning blue chip coins and viable projects? Do you feel like you missed out on DeFi, Metaverse, and NFTs? Here at Vibra Finance, we provide you with the data, skills, and tools you need to stay on top of the digital asset market. Vibra Finance, we are the future of crypto.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Vibraville. Kind of super exciting day yesterday. We got the greed candles. Altcoins were pumping over 100% in 24 hours. And one day later, we have everything being sold right back off. And this is it plagues the market right now. There's not enough liquidity. It's PvP everywhere. And it's a complete bloodfest again. This is the shakeout, I believe. But, man, everything is looking super bullish. We got Fast Abdul here. What's up, my man?
Hey, man. Yeah, what you're showing me on the screen doesn't look that bullish. You have something more bullish to show us.
Oh, yeah. Well, hey, let's check out the Pulsechain. How are we doing in the Pulse cores? All red.
Yeah, also less bullish today. They were pretty bullish, as bullish as I've seen them in a month, a couple days ago.
Yes. Yesterday, bro, things were pumping like crazy. We had a bunch of altcoins ripping. Everyone was happy. And then people woke up this morning and were like, wait a minute, stuff was green. Sell.
Have been. I think it was. It's not just Pulsechain, obviously. Like you said, it's all over the place. We have crypto sadness. I'm still optimistic for the end of the year, though. I think this might be our year.
Yeah, so I heard something very interesting, and I've been talking about the 4-year cycles. I was confident they were over 6 months ago. I started to feel like it when Bitcoin made its high before the halving for the first time ever. But in about February, all the influencers will be able to look at the charts and prove, this time is different. The 4-year cycles are broken. So it's happening right now, but we need another 2 or 3 months for everybody to look at it and say, oh my God, it is over. The cycles are over. This time is different. So I think we haven't even really gotten started. I think the liquidity is going to start to really flow in the next 2 weeks with the ETF launches, the government coming back, QT officially ending. Everything is lining up. Another rate cut. So I don't know how the future isn't extremely bullish.
Agreed. I think we have things happening that are more than one person can manage. It's an entire systems that's pushing towards crypto. And when retail comes in, which I don't think we've seen in this season, I think that the majority of the crypto inflows have been from corporations and such. Obviously not in places like Pulsechain, but like on Ethereum, Bitcoin, BlackRock, like they're the ones buying it up. Retail is more aware of crypto, but they're not engaged. So I think that FOMO season is still coming.
Yeah, bro, 100%. I listened to a really good interview with Matt Hougan. He's at the Bitwise or the BitMEX CEO. They're launching a big ETF, and he was saying how he thinks that the bottom is in this last shakeout. I don't even know if you want to call it a shakeout, but I think it was just pure greed of market makers when they just dumped the markets in October. And the problem was there's such a lack of liquidity in the markets that a normal 10, 15% dip with no liquidity turns into a catastrophe. And now you have all these altcoins sitting at ungodly low prices for no reason. And retail is not here to scoop them up. And it's all the institutions and big money, the smart money, is scooping up everything that people are losing conviction on and just dumping down here at the bottom.
Totally. And the thing about this time around and other times around, I'm sure, is that like we saw things like BlackRock selling recently. But like a big company like BlackRock has multiple accounts. I heard stories that they were selling from one account and then under a different company with a different name that they own, they were buying at the same time. So like, it's playing whale games, getting the little guys to dump so that the big guys can win. The only solution is to, be a holder, not a trader. Traders get wrecked. Long-term holders tend to be the winners.
Yep. Yeah, bro. And this is such a good the cycles were never based on the 4 years. And that's what we all thought that until I will give Raoul Pal credit for that. When I found him last year and was watching some of his stuff until I realized he was just a Solana Swede, whatever he's going to get paid to shill, he's going to become a maxi of. But his macro theories about how Bitcoin was actually following the liquidity cycles and how this year the restructuring is actually 5 years out, not 4. So we went an extra year here because the debt restructure is coming in 2026. So it wasn't made apparent to us that was a deal. It just looked like the halving was causing it, but in reality, it wasn't at all. And now we're going to be able to. Well, we're not, but the mainstream is going to confirm that the 4-year cycles are broken in like February. And then God knows what the next narrative, Bitcoin to 1 million, or who the hell knows what the next narrative is going to be.
Indeed. Yeah. There will be something, I assure
you. Yeah. What's up, Conspiracy Crypto? The cycle was broken when Bitcoin broke the all-time high before halving. That was the first clear sign. And now it's obvious 100%. And I just cringe when I watch like Benjamin Cowan and these other guys in the mainstream. They're such Bitcoin maxis, and they're so blind, or they just ignore certain things in the market. It drives me nuts.
Yep. There's no changing it though.
No, QE is 100% coming, and yeah, QT officially ends December 1st. So we'll see what that does. But like you were saying, retail is being shaken out. Follow the big money. As crypto flashes red, ETF flows reverse. So now money is actually coming in to the ETFs as the market dumps. So that just shows you what the smart money is doing. Ignore everything else out there. Follow the money. That's the key.
Agreed.
And Bitcoin OG whales keep cashing out. So I follow the Cubic community because the founder of Cubic is very, very intriguing. And a year ago, he put out a tweet or a Discord message saying that there would be no alt season or bull run until 400,000 Bitcoin were sold. And ironically, that just happened in the last couple of weeks from a lot of old wallets. So we either have a time traveler or someone knows who was selling those Bitcoin.
Could be. I think some of these guys have, have an inside edge. It seems quite likely.
Yeah, bro. There's some big rabbit holes to go down about come from beyond in the Cubic founder. But Fast actually just told me he was really looking at a 50-year mortgage now that he said they're in Vancouver, but now that they're in the States, he is actually tempted to move down here and snag one of these up.
That's right, because it's such a good deal. I could pay for twice as long, 50 years instead of 25. That's a fantastic deal. How much do I end up paying in total with my 50-year versus my 25-year mortgage, though? Is it a benefit?
So it depends what state you're in. So a normal state at 6%, if you're taking out $400K, a 30-year is $863, and a 50-year, you're adding $400K to that. But in California, if you get an $800,000 mortgage, because houses are twice as much, you're now looking at an extra almost 802,000, sorry.
Okay. And like the monthly payment, like $4,800 versus $4,200 to take twice as long to pay. Like there's like $600 difference there, less than $600. Just come up with the $600 and pay off your mortgage twice as fast. Seems like a better deal now that I see the numbers.
Dude, it's insane.
In the first example, it's only $300 difference.
Yeah,
Like,
300
like,
bucks different. Yeah, so that we the math $300, that's like 180K over 50 years. So they're charging you an extra 220 in just pure interest. So you basically now on a 30-year, what, the first 15 go to interest? Now in a 50-year, the first 30 are going to interest.
yeah, no, this is a terrible deal.
Like, could you imagine that? Oh yeah, you're 25 years into your mortgage, you got 18% equity in your house.
Well, like statistically, I'd be unlikely to survive my mortgage, right? Like I probably won't see the end of my mortgage, because probably I won't live to be 100 years old.
You know, I need to look into the 50-year. I wonder if after year 40 you could switch it to a reverse mortgage where they now start paying you back so they could keep it at the end.
Yeah, and well, those are tend to be kind of scams too, right? Like it's like how can we take this away from this man's kids? We'll offer him a reverse mortgage in his 60s. Like the bank always has an angle. They're rarely trying to actually help you out.
It's really bad, bro. When you have time and you take a look at how the banks come off with these awesome commercials on TV, like they're here to help you and save you. And by golly, he's at the furthest thing from the truth. But
Indeed.
bro, I think the bull market is close because I'm seeing Litecoin bulls all over Twitter. So people are saying Litecoin is about to bump up to 3% dominance.
Man, sounds a bit like a bit like a top signal. If Litecoin's taken over, I think.
Yeah.
No,
Well, fortunately, it's still at the bottom of the range, so could be a little bit of hopium with some delusion, but I just think it's funny that people are still out here. The Litecoin Foundation puts out a tweet and they have 197 likes.
I feel confident that Pulsechain is probably going to take a larger market share than Litecoin in the end.
Yeah.
I could be wrong, not financial advice, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like how Brandon's been putting these tweets out showing what the most traded coins are on Switch, so you can kind of see like how many people. Is the coin even out yet, or is this some pump tire shit that someone launched?
Uh, like in under the which one, the MrProve?
Yeah,
Oh, 100% pump tires. Yeah. Zero of the available MrProve coins are the actual coin. They're all either scams or meme versions. I'll give people that. If they're upfront about it, I'm mostly okay with it. But yeah, like Richard Hart has not launched a new token, and we have no date. We have no contract number. Assume that it's not going to happen tomorrow.
we don't have a sacrifice wallet yet.
We don't have a sacrifice address. We don't have a definite, like we have kind of a sacrifice announcement, but like it was jumbled with so much other stuff that I wouldn't even call that 100% at this point. So I do think he's planning on doing a sacrifice. It did sound like that, but there's definitely no coin available to purchase. So I would just skip it for now. If you see a meme coin going up called MrProve, I don't think that's the win because it's not Richard Hart's token.
Bro, that's how desperate people are right now. People saw that. Oh my God, Richard's launching a new token. All right, let's get a scam one on pump tires immediately and start shilling it to people.
That's a good point.
It's bad. I mean,
Yeah, it happens every single time. All right, like anything he says, they turn into a meme coin. But like he didn't say he was launching a coin. He said there'd be information, and then he dropped a token name, which maybe was a mistake. Except for he did engage the community with that, with making a logo and so on and so forth. So the bottom line is that like it has not launched yet. So don't buy it. You're buying something else. I hope you do well, but it's not Richard Hart's.
Yeah. So yeah, bro, where was the improve? There ain't some education here about MrProve. There ain't no mixer. The seller knows the address of the buyer because he sends coin there and knows the amount. The buyer knows the bank account of the seller. So there's no anonymity or privacy between the two of them either. There's no bridging, no bridge. It's a buyer's bank account and a seller's wallet. Basically, no part of your answer was correct. There's no traditional fiat on ramp. It's just a buyer with a bank account. So all you guys that said wallet mixer privacy weren't even close. The only private in the private prover is the fact that you can prove things without showing these things. Isn't that private without having to show it like everything else on the blockchain?
Well, I think it depends on what degree of privacy you're looking for. If like, you have to give somebody else your bank account number, they know what it is. Like it's not the same as a mixer at the very least. So it's not running into tornado cash territory where, like 10,000 transactions come in and one transaction comes out and you can't tie it to anything. This seems more direct, probably simpler in its way. So though, like there maybe some legalese tied up in this where he can't say that, also possible, because I would think that except for maybe to the two people involved in a transaction like that, that it would add a level of privacy versus many other ways of doing it. But initially people assumed that there was a larger privacy component, and that's not what it's all about, apparently.
Yeah. Yeah. I think this is cool though. It's like a private OTC market in a sense where people, if you have a coin you want to sell and you'll accept 7% off or whatever, you can directly make a deal with, like, this is really cool, bro. I like this.
Yep. No, it sounds interesting. Like it at its core, it has like functions of an OTC exchange, so an over-the-counter exchange where two people are dealing with each other. MrProve is like the referee that makes sure it's a fair deal, right? We're done with immutable code, I'm sure, and it takes a small fee for that service that buys and burns the token is the concept. So, like and that small fee being a percentage, like I think Richard said, 0.5%. Like, well, 0.5% of $1,000 deal isn't that big a deal, but 0.5% of $1 million deal, you do that 5 or 6 times a day, there starts to be some significant buy pressure. So, um, where will that work out or not? Like, will there be millions of dollars moving through a day? I don't know. If Richard just moved his own money through it, that would probably be interesting enough to make it successful early on. But yeah, seeing how it's going to go long term, that'll be the question.
Yeah. Well, I think this is like, I think opening up the doors for businesses and like corporate, not even corporate, just enterprises to trade on the blockchain, where if you have services or whatever, you can agree to everything on the blockchain, have a deal done. And then, physically, if you have a paint job or a construction job or something, you could take care of all of it right up on the blockchain. Or I'm sure you could figure out a way to escrow payments, man. Like it's just laying the foundation to really take this to levels we don't even see right now.
I think he's looking at possible business applications, right? So he's talked about things like tickets, like ticketing, right? So it could be buying movie tickets, buying all kinds of things that could be done via this format. He talked about like proof of identity, right? Like a person identifying somehow, right? Like it'd be without actually revealing the information. So like it'd be like a KYC without KYC thing, maybe where that MrProve would see that, like, yeah, this person really does whatever they said they were, live in California, whatever the thing was. And then the other person gets the verification that, yeah, they live in California without actually seeing that, like seeing your driver's license, so to speak. So there could be like extended business things for insurance. I put it through a couple different AIs the other day, and I came up with like insurance, real estate, like shipping things, all kinds of stuff that required verification. And it was like most of the categories were measured in trillions or billions, but most of them were actually trillions of dollars industries that this could be part of. So like I want to see Richard's full plan because I really don't understand all the details of how it would work. I think it's more than just an OTC, though, is the bottom line. The OTC thing, I understand, over the counter exchange, two people trading without going on a DEX, like that's simple enough. But this appears to be much more.
Yeah, dude, I completely agree. Y'all think Richard has a minimum viable product ready to go.
I suspect so too. I don't think
Yeah,
it's 2 years out.
yeah, I think it's closer now that he's putting stuff out, I wouldn't be surprised if this was a test to see how people reacted to sacrifices. But again, he went off on Corey again, saying, "Did you see what the charts did last time there was a sacrifice? Stop cry fagging."
Well, I think part of that is the whole point of why he's doing this. Like maybe Richard's taken a sudden intense interest in this type of product. That's also possible. But like, when we look at the past, like when did Hex hit 50 cents? Well, like it was during like the Pulsechain sacrifice, right? When people were, like they were able to sacrifice Hex. So like people were FOMOing to get Hex, and then it was flowing into that sacrifice wallet. So I think he's looking at repeating that trick, which in advertising, which is something I understand fairly well. If you do something that works, right, you keep doing it, even if you have diminishing returns until it's no longer worthwhile. So will this work as well as the first time? Like probably not, but it will work, right? Like if he says this would be the most bullish scenario, you can only sacrifice core tokens, right? Then like the price of all the core tokens that he lists, and I have a feeling of which ones they'd be. I'm 50-50 on whether he'd include EHEX, but I think, for sure all the Pulsechain core tokens, like the prices of those will go up. And then if people sacrifice them, they're going to the OA account, which is never sold. So it's kind of like they're burnt. So the long term and the short term on that are very good. Even if you don't participate yourself. And that's the bottom line, is you don't have to participate. You could participate. It might be a win. I don't know. There's not enough information yet. But it is kind of a win if other people participate at the very least, right? They no longer have tokens to sell, and they had to perhaps buy those tokens in order to sacrifice them, is an even better scenario.
Yeah. Yeah, this obviously this is gonna trigger people on chain. And Mando, I thought this tweet was pretty good. Richard's about to launch a sacrifice for MrProve. That means you send ETH, Bitcoin, or whatever is accepted in the UI. Like, how do we even know it's ETH or Bitcoin? Like that's jumping to conclusions there. He keeps every penny. You get free MrProve coins later. Zero promises. His plan: suck millions of dollars out of every other altcoin on chain into his pocket. He knows the power of the reflexive economy on Pulsechain and wants to minimize its impact. So drain the alts before the chain pump. Classic RH strategy. The MrProve strategy. I'm not selling my bag of cores or top alts to fund him again. Not sacrificing a dime. Smart plays wait. Let the token launch. Watch the first pump. Watch the dump. When it hits the real floor, buy it back up. That's it. Some will think he might launch it at a certain price. He's cheap and won't give value away like that. And if he did, it would get sold into hard as hell. Glad to see RH is building. I hope the sacrifice gets very little money. Best play, wait for the launch, then buy the dip.
That could be the case. And it just depends though, right? Like, if Richard Hart wanted like an advertising item, like, oh look, this 10,000x right out of the gate, the easiest thing to do it with would be something low, like that with a very low price where he controls all the liquidity. And this is something where he could do that. Whereas, the other core assets, well, they've kind of got away. Like there's many people providing liquidity. There's many options. There's many holders, right? They're on different chains, bridge back and forth. But like with a brand new token, he can launch in the specific place he wants. And initially he can be the only liquidity holder. He can control how that works very, very quickly. He could paint the chart whatever way he wants. So yeah, will it 10,000x out of the gate? Is that part of a marketing strategy? So I'm playing devil's advocate here. I think the concept of waiting and seeing, not sacrificing, holding on to your core tokens, that is a very valid plan as well. But we really don't have the information to know what the right plan is. Even if I wanted to give you financial advice, which I never would, I could not on this.
Yeah, right. Exactly. That's the thing. Until we understand this more and understand the bigger picture where this is going. I mean, clearly Richard's a smart freaking guy. He's thinking of stuff for the future down the road. He's not caught up in like what's going on right now. And yeah, bro, I just think if he adds a wallet into this where you could onboard this service or whatever right into his wallet, a fiat on off ramp into a wallet he controls. Now, I don't know if that adds another privacy layer or not, but I think that's where he's headed with it.
It could be. He's talked about wallets in the past, so yeah, we don't I wouldn't discount the concept that he could tie a wallet into this or also launch a wallet, all those things. But right now, there's a lot of emotion about this thing. So I hope he doesn't add another thing tomorrow. Let's process one item at a time. The people are very emotional the last couple days in the Pulsechain community, which I sympathize with, but it's like it's not a good time to make decisions. So everybody's got to chill, wait to see what happens, and then yeah, we'll reconvene when we actually know what we're talking about.
Yeah. Is there even a website out for it yet?
Yeah, there's no website, there's no sacrifice page. There's only like Richard talking about a sacrifice without specifics. So it's pretty, you know, pretty vague as far as what the details are. So we kind of know what it is. We maybe know what the token name is, though. I think there was discussion today about changing the name to Prove X instead of MrProve, which I think is probably better, but maybe not. It's so it's really pretty new and everything's up in the air. I don't think I don't think anybody needs to panic. It's almost a net neutral at this very second.
Bro, that's the thing. Whoever said you need to participate in this, it's like people took this like, oh my God, he's launching a new project. I have to sacrifice for it. It's like you can stay away from it. That's perfectly fine.
Yep.
RH has a lot of surprises up his sleeves. I think so. I think the website will get many people offside. Wait to see. We also got a new name, Prove X, and a new logo contest. Okay, Prove X. Yeah, that's definitely better.
Yeah.
Yeah, prove it.
It is a little, yeah, it just sounds more modern versus cartoony, like as far as the concept.
Yeah. So a privacy project utilizing ZK proofs for direct peer-to-peer fiat crypto transactions without intermediaries, built on Pulsechain. MrProve features a deflationary token that burns with each use of its private prover technology, alongside a sacrifice phase where participants. So it did say, okay, did say ETH, HEX, or Pulsechain tokens. Launch has elicited mixed community responses, with supporters praising its potential to disrupt exchanges and critics questioning the timing amid low token prices and hard prior sacrifice mechanisms.
Where are you pulling this from?
I just saw on the little tab over here today's news. I just clicked on the news tab.
Okay. I don't think this is I think that's kind of fake news. It's talking about it's launched and that mixed reviews. Like it has not launched. There has been no sacrifice phase. There's a bunch of there's a bunch of just incorrect statements there. It's like some of it's true-ish, but yeah, like we don't have a website, we don't have a product, it has not launched. It's there's lots of details missing there. So yeah, I think we got to keep the expectations even lower than that.
Ivan, Hexagons, Pulsekins, I can't wait to watch Ivan's stream on Monday. He's gonna
Ivan's probably loves this. He's probably so happy.
Oh yeah, he gets to come and rile up the community again.
Yeah, he's gonna get a lot of engagement out of it though.
Yeah.
So this is interesting. It's also kind of terrible, but it's interesting.
Wait, my guy, you're doing another sacrifice when your other tokens are the complete shitter? This is absurd. Cryfag, do me a favor and go check the chart. What happened the last couple times?
There we go. So I think that ends up being part of the plan. I was told that tweet was immediately deleted by Richard.
Yeah, it was.
Right? So like he might have felt like maybe he's giving away too much of the plan. So I think, like this is, it happened before, it could happen again. It doesn't it doesn't cost very much to, like social capital to do, and it will it will probably pump the price to whatever assets are available to sacrifice.
Yep, I agree with it.
This is just me trying to calm people down.
Yeah, It's great, bro. There is no calming people down right now until the problem is the people that are freaking out are the ones that went way too deep. They only put it into cores and they sat and watched their bags go down to freaking nothing and they're pissed off. Those are the only people that are mad right now, I think.
If they're still in cores and they haven't they haven't lost them along the way, right? Like I think that's the trouble for a lot of people is they paper handed them and ended up with less cores in the end because the pump is coming and I believe the pump will be on cores. So yeah, don't paper hand your cores at this time at the very least. We are now in core season.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. So according to Grok, the TLDR is that it's a fixed supply deflationary token that'll power the prover tech. It enables direct settlement between buyers and sellers on exchanges.
Yep.
Each successful transaction automatically buys and burns MrProve, creating scarcity. The first target industry is crypto exchanges, replacing custodial middlemen with instant, private, non-custodial settlement. Participation requires a new sacrifice phase, allowing supporters to prove whatever. We know that. Seems like a new era of trustless settlement about to begin with Richard Hart leading the way. How exciting.
Oh.
Yeah.
Will people use is still the question though, right? Like, I believe people will buy it. Like, people are buying fake MrProve tokens right now. So they're going to buy the real one. But yeah, will people use this protocol? Will it be launched cross chain? Will it get, like international adoption? Like those are kind of the questions long term.
Yeah. I mean, I guess we just need to see, but like why I know he hates exchanges. He wants to remove the middlemen, but there's got to be something more to this that we just don't see right now. This has to be the first step of a much bigger plan that he's got, because what's his goal, right? To have a place where he can have all of his money on chain and not have it spread out with counterparty risk. So I think this is a way he will be able to start the infrastructure for moving money, not having to go to Tornado Cash, and being able to do whatever you want, or businesses or enterprises that want to come on chain. Now maybe that's a use case, where, you sell a house to somebody and, you need collateral online or on the exchange or on the chain. And maybe this is a way to do it. I don't know, but
I think to me, the important thing right now, and I'm sure it's one of the things Richard's focusing on, is just how the financials will work on Pulsechain. So if like whales decide to sacrifice for this, which like right now the sentiment towards sacrifice is very low, but if these tokens like the core tokens, let's say a 10x, right, not like a 100x, not a 10,000x, a 10x between now and whenever this sacrifice starts or ends, people would be feeling much more optimistic. It meant like you've seen it, like sometimes crypto people are like goldfish, they forget what happened yesterday. So like a 10x on cores would give a whole different story. The sacrifice would also 10x. People would be, more than willing to participate with part of their bag. I suspect a lot of people would, which then means those coins are locked up. Those people can no longer sell them. Richard's not going to sell them. And then if he decides to pump the chain further in a lower liquidity environment with less bag holders, then yeah, the math is going to be way better. And this could be the start of the 10,000x plan.
yeah, no, I agree, because like this is every time it's used for trades. MrProve tokens are bought and burned, but where was it? Right here. Use cases beyond crypto: peer-to-peer trades, tickets, domains, collectibles, private ID, job or school verifications, cross-border payments, digital items, notaries, insurance, and more. Like that, I think right there.
Private ID for stuff like hiring online employees, stuff like that, right?
Mhm.
Like those are mega industries, right? Like there's or even like getting, applying for like a travel visa somewhere. There could be like countrywide applications for some of this stuff. Now, who's going to make those deals? How does it work? That's what I want to see, right? Like, and obviously when there's physical objects involved, right? Like, how do you verify one thing without verifying another thing? Like, it's it's obviously there'll be some complexity that we just don't have the information on yet.
Yeah, exactly, bro. And that this is, I think we're gonna see a lot of different type products really start to be released now that the regulations are here. It sounds like I think the Clarity Act went from like 18% chance of getting approved this year to like up to 40% on poly markets. So I don't know
Okay.
if they need to rush this out. There's an incentive behind it, but it seems like they want to get this stuff moving. And I think a lot of use cases and unique projects are going to start to pop up. And Pulsechain needs to have the infrastructure to at least be an option for people when
Agreed.
they're looking where to build.
I see on the list there private ID or age checks. So, if this gets adopted by, all porn sites worldwide, if the government starts enforcing a porn age check with mandatory MrProve age checking, then that's a $1 billion industry right there.
There you go. And Richard likes he likes the ladies, so
So I've heard.
yeah. So I'm sure he'll fit.
But, like,
Yeah,
as far as Pulse chain goes, like, it is an EVM chain, right? EVM standing for Ethereum Virtual Machine. So, like, people will be able to, like, launch anything that's on another other EVM chain, like Ethereum or BNB or Polygon. Like, all the big ones are EVM with the exception of Solana, basically. So there's definitely the possibility that, like, we could see some big things move to Pulse chain.
hmm exactly, bro. And without the ability to have that there, we're not even going to be looked at. So you certain that he sees where the industry is going. Like stable coins have now taken over as what they were the narrative. And I think in the next 6 months, once Amazon and Tesla and Google and Meta and everybody has stable coins, you're going to start to see different use cases pop up because payments and stuff can be done through stable coins because there's liquidity on chain for it. And that wasn't, it wasn't, I mean, I'm sure these companies are doing it privately behind the scenes, but just, I've even talked to people that wanted to tokenize stuff or bring stuff on chain, but it just was hard. It's hard to do right now because the infrastructure is not there. No one really knows how to do it and what have payments and collateral and all that stuff. It's no one's done it yet. So I'm excited, bro.
Yeah,
The more information that comes out, I think we'll be able to talk about this further. Because right now it's just all just speculation.
indeed. We shall see.
Yeah. Thinking about RH, he holds a grand vision, big choices to do things easier, things with the utmost levels and inclusion of all humans. Yeah, bro. Richard has not changed at all. No, he's the same person that he's been. He's and the thing is that is funny is the charts on Pulsechain suck. But let's look around at all of crypto. In the top 100, let's look in the past year. I mean, it's a mix. It's most all the coins that are up are the bigger market cap blue chips that there's liquidity and the Zcash has a grayscale trust in there. But like Fetch AI, Optimism down 75%. Like I would compare more of Optimism to Pulse Chain. Arbitrum's down 50%. Polygon's down 56%. So most of the ETH L2s are down a lot. So it's not just like we're down and the entire market is up. This is plaguing almost every community in crypto.
Totally. Yeah, no, it's not it's not just us. There's like in some of the chains that were a big deal, we don't even talk about anymore, right? Like Polygon was a big deal. It's no longer like on the table. Like, who's the biggest Polygon influencer you know? Um, I can't name one.
uh Bro, I don't know one.
And yet their total market cap would be quite a bit higher than Pulse Chain, right? Like it's there's definitely some there's definitely room for growth over here because yeah, some of these chains that aren't dead, right? Like they have a lot of money on them. They're just not making any waves at all, and we're making tons of waves. We just need more money.
Oh wow. So all right, what is going on here? Richard just put out like this website and now it's I can't get this thing off like there we go. So I think I need to be I don't have my VPN on right now, but it's looking
Oh, that's a simplex thing. It's like a chat room. Um, it's like instead of Telegram. So he tried it a couple times in the past. They don't work. It's simplex is like secret spy chat Telegram. It's super private, but it's a little bit glitchy. You have trouble getting more than 300 people in a room.
yeah, I can't even get in here. Firefox wants to sign using Key Express client in your keychain.
Yeah, it sounds kind of sketch, doesn't it?
Yeah, I don't know what this I don't even know what my password is for that. I don't whatever. Well, yeah, Richard, come on, bro. Do better. I'm gonna spam him. Do better, Richard. It doesn't work. You
Well, I think he seems like he's doing a test. Yeah, I'm gonna try to get into it on my cell phone, which is usually where such things are. Okay, I'm joining the group.
Did it work?
Yeah, I joined the group, but the group is called Testing Simplex Group Capacity, and I can't send messages. So I think he's literally doing a test of software. It's not. There's no information here. Like, yeah, literally, it says yeah, testing simplex group capacity. It's not. You're not missing anything.
Okay. Well, that's good to know because I don't even take part in like test these tests. I couldn't even read GitHub, so Wallet Watcher, yeah, this is like Pulsechain's privacy features. Like people like, oh, Richard's not doing anything with privacy, but just being able to get rid of wallet watchers, that is privacy to me. Do you agree with that, or am I crazy?
Yeah, it's a big part of privacy, though. Like, it's like, does he really want privacy? Because he's putting up that, the picture of the lady with binoculars. Like, he still wants people talking about it, right? He doesn't want to disappear into the night with the money because he's still like talking about the money, making fun of people who are looking for the money. It's definitely, definitely something, that he doesn't want us to forget about. So I think it's, it's him being a bit of a troll to not to us, but to outside people who are trying to follow those wallets, but also getting people to keep their eye on the prize.
Yeah, exactly, Rowan. And that's what is the best NFT marketplace for Pulsechain? Do you know?
Yeah, it's Pulse Market. So pulsemarket.app. You can get your copies of Bored Ape Yacht Club there. Like Watsa is like it's where 90% of all NFT transactions take place on Pulse Chain. You can check out Mintra as well. They have a very pretty website, but nobody uses it.
Yeah, Polygon was once a big deal. Pulsechain was and never will be a big deal. I beg to differ, bro.
We'll see.
It looks like it on the surface. Everyone's fudding it. It looks like shit. But you got to understand Richard and his ego. Like nothing has changed from him saying he's trying to do everything he can to repeat the 10,000 X's he's done before. And he hasn't even came back yet. He hasn't even done streams, gone out to see Ivan, gone out with crypto banter. Like who knows? He's going to make a tour hopefully. And once he starts pumping his chain, bro, he wouldn't have drained the liquidity down so the chain can just dump forever. He did that so he can pump it back up. But in the meantime, once all the liquidity is lower like this, it's the same thing that just happened on October 10th. When there's no liquidity, dips in these altcoins, they fall to just disgusting numbers. Like Clearpool, is one of my utility real world asset plays. And it was trading at like 18 cents a month or two ago. And it literally just went under 5 cents. And it hasn't been that low in almost a year. And I never would have thought it could get this low, but that's a problem with low liquidity. It hurts more to the downside, but when we start pumping, we're going to pump way faster. And it's like, if you were in Pulsechain this whole time and you didn't make money on PTGC, UFO, PDI, Atropa, the Rat Bitcoins, the thousands of coins that pumped like crazy, I mean, that's where you needed to take advantage of it. And you make profits in these other coins and roll them back into cores and just keep DCAing in. Like it's the right feeling right now. Look at the macro environment. If you believe in a project, you buy it now, you keep DCAing in, and next week it's going to be worth less. And 2 weeks later, it'll probably be worth less, but that's okay. That's what's supposed to happen when you're buying a crypto at the bottom in a recession when everyone's fudding the shit out of the industry. Like it literally takes 2 days, 1 day to 2 days for everybody to be bullish and going crazy again. We saw it on Friday when altcoins just started ripping out of the blue. And if that happens for 3, 4, 5 days straight on Pulsechain, and we're now 5x over sack rate, everybody will be willing to sacrifice again. I guarantee it.
It's going to be so weird. It'll be like a Twilight Zone thing, right? But like, yeah, people's emotions will change very quickly. And like, again, like you don't have to sacrifice. You can totally sit out. But like, if you're into core tokens and other people are sacrificing them, it probably doesn't hurt you. So maybe you don't want to naysay it necessarily. Like certainly you can tell people what you think, but like, like if you want HEX to go up, maybe don't shout that MrProve is a scam.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing too is that this is a good point. You missed Ethereum, but not Pulsechain. Right. Look at Ethereum when it first launched. For years, Ethereum kind of struggled. David Schwartz sold 40,000 of them at $1 to put a roof on his house. If David Schwartz, that brilliant dude, couldn't see the future of Ethereum back then, no one did. And we have a much stronger community, a diehard community. Our chart actually it's basically moved the same as ETH since the bottom. So we're basically trending right with it. But our upside is so much greater. We're where ETH is in 2018, 2019. And we haven't seen anything yet. Like we haven't seen that first cycle pump. Nothing has happened. This has all been a shakeout because Richard is one of the most petty, cheapest, probably the most petty, cheapest billionaire in the world. He does not want assholes that just come in here, buy and wait and just dump. He wants to reward the long-term believers of his project. He said it for years. He's sticking to it. And the people that have just been here the whole time will be rewarded in the end.
He's going to have to MrProve it, though.
He will. Well, no, he's going to have to prove it.
That works too.
Couldn't RH provide massive liquidity using the treasury and total privacy? To what end? I don't know, but the money has to go somewhere. Exactly. And now that it's behind Tornado Cash walls, he can start to do stuff with it. And if it was in the public, people would be speculating on this. It's going to this, it's going to that. But now he can do what he wants in the back end and move money where it needs to be.
Also, we have like a new privacy thing coming up to Pulsechain. Liberty Swap is adding Railgun, I think at the end of this month kind of thing. That's it, which is like another privacy filter where you can get onto Pulsechain without people being able to follow, right? So it will give somebody like Richard, who may or may not want to move $700 million onto the chain, more ways to obfuscate that path and be more incognito. So like I'm bullish on the privacy stuff for sure. Like I don't think that the gameplay is not for him to add liquidity with those, because the more liquidity there is in something, like the more in the buy and the sell side, the harder it is for the price of that item to go up and also go down, right? So like if you really want to support a community, you have low liquidity when it's going up and you have high liquidity when it's going down is the best possible scenario. So I could if I were to make a rough prediction, I'd be like, okay, somewhere around in connection with the MrProve sacrifice, Richard will pump things 10x plus in a low liquidity environment. And then when the sacrifice is over, then he'd pump it 100x, 10,000x plus. And then at that point, he would do something like pump ink to $4,000 and then turn up the inflation on PulseX farms so that everybody FOMOs into liquidity providing, and then that would be the top, right? And then it would go down from there, but it would go down on a nice soft cushion of like thousands of people providing as much liquidity as they could to earn $4,000 ink tokens. That would be how I might play it if I was a billionaire, but yeah, I haven't quite made it there yet, so I can't say that that's going to happen.
Bro, that I would love to see it happen. I agree with you, bro. That ink is kind of the wheel that once that starts spinning, that's how you attract people over there. Once ink gets up in value, the APYs start going up. Now people's attention starts getting got. And man, bro, if ink would hit, holy shit, if ink with the $400, I'd lose my mind.
It's like after Hex, it's like the lowest liquidity thing. So it would actually it's pretty easy to send ink to $400, which is about less than a 400x. Way easier to do it to ink than to Pulse or PulseX, right? You need way more money, like 1,000 times more. So to have it go up to that, which of course would cause people to FOMO into the other core tokens, because that's what you need to farm ink. It's actually not a bad play. Ink could be the tip of the spear. Totally possible.
Bro, so I don't hold any Pulsechain. I hold all PulseX and I hold only EHEX. I have a little bit of HEX. I got a bunch of stakes coming out that I created in 2020, but Ink, PulseX, and EHEX. That's it. Because I'm with you, Rod. I just don't see how Pulse outperforms PulseX, and I don't see how Ink isn't the biggest winner out of all of them.
Well, let me know if you need a little bit of Pulse to do transactions, because you're going to need some if you ever want to sell that stuff.
Oh yeah, I think I got like 150,000 in my wallet.
On most days, that's enough. On a really big day, you need a couple million.
Yeah,
I would
and
have
on those big
at least
days,
a
I
million
will.
a year.
So,
It's
bro,
like
but
30 bucks.
dude, yeah, but you don't though, because if you go to switch.win and you trade on Pulsechain and ETH, if you have all you need is gas for the approval. If you have, and then once the approval's there, the fee comes out of the transaction. So you don't necessarily need to have that much gas in your wallets, which is cool.
But the actual if it works out like that and it takes the fees out of the transaction, that kind of works. But
Yeah.
I would think there's been days when it's been like a million pulse a transaction when something crazy is happening, like when the PDI hack happened and so on and so forth. That was we do have those million pulse transaction days, and if there was a day where Richard was flowing in $500 million, I could see there being complications with something like this, but I'll have to talk to Brandon about it.
Yeah, dude, that's the thing too, is that with the rumors of his L2 or whatever, that almost is going to be needed, bro, because we can't, that all the tax tokens are then pretty much fucked once the gas is up that high. And it would be nice to be able to do
There's
certain
other
things.
solutions. Like Pulsechain is a fork of Ethereum, right? But it's about 4 updates behind the Ethereum updates, which is good because for security purposes, that means if there's flaws in those updates, they'll get sorted on Ethereum. So, but the long term is that all those updates could come onto Pulsechain. They have to be done in order. You can't skip the order, and we could have those updates that would reduce the gas price with the Ethereum sharding upgrades.
Oh, interesting. After the stream, going to watch higher stakes, bro. Don't even bother. It's you're gonna be depressed and you're gonna be less bullish.
Yeah, I don't think highest of stakes was a marketing win. It's
That's
it's not
generous.
how I would have done it.
That was generous. It's not a market. It wasn't a win. Yeah, it was a disaster.
Highest of stakes 2, I may be interested in seeing, right? Like, if there's a 10,000x, highest of stakes 2 might be a good movie. But
Yep.
I'm going to wait for that.
What about Pulse Prize privacy on Pulsechain, Abdullah?
Pulse Prize, privacy on Pulsechain. It sounds familiar. Haven't seen it, haven't used it. Cannot comment.
Okay. Yep, me neither. I do not know anything about Pulse Price. Is higher the
It does
parity.
sound familiar, like it's been in my feed maybe, but that is not an endorsement.
Yeah, it definitely needs to be renamed to mediumist of stage.
Indeed. You guys, like, now's the time that Richard talks about where you don't pick up pennies in front of freight trains, right? So, like, FOMOing your bags into the newest thing from an unknown team with undoxed founders and undoxed devs is a risky play at the best of times. But right before you think something is going to 10,000x, selling it to make a 2x on, random meme coin number 42 from unknown dev is maybe not the play. So yeah, I would consider those things before putting your money in or even connecting your wallet to stuff like, is this safe? Why do I think it's safe? How can I verify it's safe? It's very important right now. When and after we get the 10,000x, then the scammers are going to come out of the woodworks, right? So you're going to want to cancel all the approvals on your wallet, every single wallet you have. You're going to want to double check everything. You will not want to click random links. Like we as we move into this, we have to be more and more careful. And the best choice, if you're not sure, is often inaction. Like, I'm not sure if this is safe. Okay, don't do it. Like, that's a great choice.
So if you have approvals set in your wallet, say you did it for I don't know, for render on Ethereum, and then you sold all your render. Do you
Okay.
need to if you don't hold that token in your bag, do you need to worry about the approval, or is it
Like,
only for coins you
like if you have
hold?
a Uniswap approval to sell render, right?
Right.
And you now no longer have render to sell. So like you've set a max limit of like Uniswap can take up to 100% of the render in my wallet, but it's not there anymore. Like, yeah, you're probably safe. The trouble with approvals comes in when you hit a malicious site, right? You're like, okay, I'm going to make an approval to do something simple, right? Like, I'm going to make an approval to like buy $1 of this thing on this new dex that I've never heard of, but like it seems like it's a good deal. But then the approval you make is not the approval you thought you were making. You don't read it. Most people don't. And you end up approving that thing to take all the Ethereum out of your wallet, right? So it's that kind of thing that we have to watch for. As far as like approval, like, am I going to rush out and cancel all my approvals on PulseX? Like, no, like probably not. Like, sometimes I just go through a wallet, I cancel all the approvals, period. And we need some better tools on Pulsechain. You can do that on Pulsechain using revoke.cash. But you do have to click a couple buttons. But like it's the sketchier things, especially something that ends up being a rug. Like, if you get rugged, it might only be the first stage of the rug if you have approvals in your wallet. So like it's the sketchier things where you want to for sure get rid of those. But like, does it hurt you to cancel your PulseX approvals? No, it costs you like a penny. And if it makes you sleep better, then yeah, sure. Yeah, why not?
Yeah, because that's a good point, because I know I went too crazy on it, and I was looking at my wallet that I've had since 2020, and I was on Ethereum looking at approvals, and I was removing coins from last cycle, like, they were it was funny looking at them, but I probably wasted $80 in gas removing approvals that I really didn't need to do, now that I think about it, because they came from Uniswap and I don't hold those tokens anymore. But if it was
Yeah,
like
you're,
some
you're
weird
probably good.
site, yeah, then okay, go and do it. So, don't go nuts with it. If it's something you recognize, it's on Uniswap or PulseX, that's one thing. But if it was like some shady site that you connected to claim an airdrop or something, like, those are the ones you probably want to remove, right?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Like, yeah, you claimed a random airdrop, anything like that. Here's the secret, guys, is like what scammers will do is airdrop you a token, and you'll see a value on that token and be like, oh, I have $10,000 of this token. You go to sell the token. Oh, you can't sell it. There's some issue. the token lists the name of the website right on the token. That's if it's in the description, like on Deck Screener, like right on the screen, in the description of the token, then that's usually a red flag. But even if you have to go through the menu on Deck Screener and click website, and then they're like, oh, you're doing it wrong, then they provide you the malicious link, right? So it's like if you have sudden wealth from something you've never heard of. I saw one in my wallet the other day. I won't say what it was so people don't look it up and get scammed, but it was exactly that. It was like a fake thing that said it was worth $10,000, like honeypot style. There's no way you could actually sell it if you wanted to. And when you went to the website, they gave you a different way to sell it, which would make an approval on your wallet to drain all your Ethereum, right? So there's things like that, like where, like, yeah, you get a sketchy token, like there's an option on wallets to hide tokens. So it'd be like, oh, the sketchy token staring me in the face every day, hide, right? And just don't look at it. If you don't touch it, just it being in your wallet doesn't, like, there's no way for them to get you by airdropping you a malicious token unless you interact with that token. So yeah, just don't take risks right now. It's just not worth it.
Yeah, and I know the feeling. Even right now, when I open up Coin Market Cap on my phone, I go to my portfolio and I have like the first 6 coins are like some Beagle coin. They're just shit coins on base that got airdropped to my wallet. And they did one trade of a fraction of a penny to get a $20 billion market cap. So the coins look like they're worth $60 a piece and you got 10,000 of them. So I have like 4 coins in Coin Market Cap on my app. Every time I open, it shows I have like 250K in these coins, but you can't get rid of them. And people see that stuff over and over and like, oh, maybe it is real. And they'll go and they'll try to swap for it. They'll sell it and they'll sign an approval. And so I want to ask you that. Say that one of those shady coins comes up and it's ACT is another one of them that's in there. And I want to just get it out of my wallet and I go and sign an approval. Could that actually be for other coins in my wallet? Or even though it says, oh, this is for the ACT coin for these tokens, could they put something in there for other tokens as well? So you think you're only doing it for one, but you're really approving all of them?
Like, you just want to get out of your wallet by selling it or by
Well, yeah, say I found the scam coin got sent to me and I thought it was real and I'm about to sell it for $30,000. So I go to Uniswap, I do the approval, and in that approval, could they then pick up the other tokens in my wallet and automatically gain an approval for them or something like that?
I don't think so, because like you're signing the approval between your wallet and Uniswap. Just you make sure you're on the real Uniswap website,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
That, you know, like that's probably where the action's happening there. But like, you know, if you see $30,000 worth of tokens, right, that you receive for free, like that are a scam, like you're not gonna be able to sell it one way or another. I've
Yeah.
seen that before. I saw one the other day. And I didn't dig deeper into this. And I'm sure somebody has the answer, perhaps the audience. But I was like, okay, I had $10,000 of token I've never heard of. I'm like, usually if you can sell something on like Uniswap or Pulsechain somewhere safe, usually that's safe, right? So like, I'm like, okay, I go to like, okay, can this be sold? And it said yes, right? But then the approval to approve it in my wallet for some reason was $400, which didn't make any sense. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to proceed further because it's asking Uniswap's asking for a $400 approval, and then like there's you have no proof that you're going to be able to sell it after you make that approval. So obviously it had some sort of honey pot function. It was probably
Yeah.
a honey pot with a huge tax factor attached to it somehow. That's the other one that they'll do is like they'll send you whatever $100 worth of tokens. You go look at the chart. What's this thing in my wallet, right? And it's 100, and then it's 200, then it's 300. The thing keeps going up and up before you sell it, and you just see this all green chart, and you're like, I'm going to buy more of token XYZ that just showed up on my wallet, and that'll be a honeypot where you won't be able to sell it. You could buy it but not sell. Only whitelisted wallets, which is the scammer's wallet, can sell it. So you have you have a green only chart until the scammer decides to exit out of their coin that they can probably infinitely mint and that only they can sell. Everybody else can only buy. So, you know, it doesn't matter if you have $1 billion worth of a honeypot token, you can't sell it. So they'll get you on just the FOMO, right? It'll be like, I have $40 worth of this. I'm going to sell it. Oh, now it's 200. Now it's 400. Now it's 2,000. It goes up every 30 seconds. Be like, that's because nobody can sell. Other people are FOMOing in. And of course, the scammer, he knows he can buy it himself and push the price as high as he wants because he's the only one who can sell. Very common tactic.
Bro, it's even worse than that. So we were degenning on base like a year and a half ago, so with some memes over there, and I was aware of that, the whitelist honeypots. So I would find these coins and I would go buy $2 of it and then go turn around and sell it and make sure it was okay, that it wasn't a whitelist honeypot. So I found this coin, I did it, I bought $2 and then sold it, and then I bought like $150 worth. And then a couple days later, it was worth $4 something. So I went to take some out, and I couldn't get more than $1 worth for the coin. So it said in my wallet, it's worth $400. And I went to sell all of it, and all I would get back was like 88 cents or whatever. So all the coins were in my wallet. It let me sell it for $2. So under like maybe $10, if you bought and sold to check, they would let you buy and sell. But the second you put in a big order, it somehow was only worth 85 cents. And dude, I've never seen anything like it.
Yep. And it's all just in the code. And it's totally easy to make a tax token with where the founder can change the tax amount, right? So they could launch a token with 0 tax and then change it after everybody buys in to 100% tax, right? Or 99% tax, right? Like it's like on the sell. So, things like that. If you don't have verified code, you can't check. Even if you do have verified code, you have to know how to check, right? So or whether the seller can infinitely mint it is another very popular one, right?
Yeah.
Where they can continuously mint a token and sell as much as they want forever. We got to watch out for that. And the tax functions are important. Most importantly, what the minimum and maximum tax they can turn up to. Like if it's only 5%, like 5 in, 5 out is their max, then sure, I don't care if it's 1% right now, if they can only hit 5. But if they can turn it up to 100%, then like that's a scam. This is a problem.
Yeah. Bro, and do a hoot. So like if you're DJ, you're like, all right, I got $500. I want to go on base, and you're looking at new pairs right now. You see that all this stuff. You're not going to take the time and go look at all that shit. You're going to find, oh wow, this coin's only out for 10 hours. It's up 45%. Oh man, let me check it out. And then it comes back. You're like, oh, one issue has obfuscated addresses. Okay, that's not bad. So you go and you buy it, and it ends up being that whitelist honeypot where you'll never get your value back. Or when you buy it, God, the tax goes up to 80% or whatever it is. And people don't take the time to look. So you got to just get this shit out of your system. I don't know. That's what actually got me to stop. Once I was like, holy shit, they literally just got me on a whitelist honeypot after I bought and sold to make sure it wasn't. That's when I said, enough of this. I'm not bothering. And I feel like that's how it is in crypto. You either have to make mistakes to learn, or you just realize it's a never ending win. If you're going to be approaching crypto this way, trying to just buy meme coins and take a 2x and then put it into the core you wanted, it's just not.
I just never click through that list on Dex Screener anymore. Like, I might look at it for information, like for volumes on this chain or that, but like, I never look at like, what are the top tokens today? It's like, no, I have my list. You can start things on Dex Screener and create your own list. And I only look at my list, right? I might add something to my list or remove something, but like, I don't look at this FOMO enticing stuff. Like what is that? The Neo butt. Yeah. Is up.
Bro, I just found a runner
today.
Bro, I just found a runner. This is 4 hours old. It's called Henora.
Yeah.
And bro, we just broke out. And if you want to buy the top right here, I guarantee in the morning we will be right here.
Yeah. Yeah, we have no idea what this is. It's
no.
Yeah.
It's 145.
It's just gambling, right? It's straight up gambling, and you're not supposed to win.
Bro, and this is what people do all the time, dude. I'm not kidding. They go and they find, oh my God, look, this just printed it's gonna run up. It's 148K. All right, so it's gonna get up to a 250K market cap, and then it's gonna drop back down. But look at that right there.
Yep. And like
rug.
10 minutes of research, right? Like, does this coin even have a website, right? Like, does it have like is there even a ticker on deck screen, or is there a pitch? Is there a does it have a logo? Like any of the things, right? There's nothing, right?
Nothing. No. No.
It's just not worth that kind of thing. Right now, you got to look at the team that's like there are good things being launched, right? And there's things that are undervalued, but like you have to look at the team. Like you have to like does the team appear on a screen? Like is there is there an explanation? Is there a website? Is there a white paper? Are there audits? Like you want that information. Obviously, audits are pretty redundant on meme coins, except there's a big difference between a meme coin launched on something on like Pump.tires or Pump.fun on Solana even that have immutable code where they can't add in like whitelisting or tax options or honeypots if they're launched in those places, right? Like it's by nature of how they're made. Things launched on Pump.tires are safer than things launched like randomly by some dev. Which is why I launched the vault token on Pump.tires, because it's like, okay, people trust this automatic burnt liquidity, immutable code. It's actually a pretty good way to launch a token.
Oh, Hex Glenn. Sometimes they'll push multiple coin approvals in a row, so you just click through without thinking. Okay, so that's what they'll do.
Yeah, your fifth approval is for the Ethereum in your wallet or something. That's a good one, Hex Glenn. Be careful.
Yeah. Yup. That's a good point. Oh, well, I'm getting the itch to degen into Arthur now.
No, don't do it.
No, those days are. Oh, there we go. Look at that. Here comes the freaking red. Like you can't do this, guys. You have to know the token. You have to know the founder, know when it's launching, then get in and literally get out immediately. The meta now is people can't hold for more than a 2x. At least like a year ago on Solana, okay, you could hold for 3, 4, 5 days, maybe, then get out. No, now it's you double up, you're out. And it's who wants to play that game?
Seconds. Things rug in seconds on Solana.
Sure.
Like you'll see 8,000% up and then rug in 17 seconds. Like they're so ridiculous.
Dude, I think it was something like out of every single coin that's ever launched on Solana, like 0.01% ever reached $1 million market cap. Like 99.99% of these things are just straight up rug pull scams. And Solana has done it to themselves, bro. Like they've become it's not the chain it used to be. It was all the momentum, all the hype. And look what happens. That shit is not sustainable, and everyone's going to lose their money and move on, and there's no loyalty. Now you got a dying community.
And people are rugging for like $60, right? Like they'll rug a coin to make $60. So like it used to be, like you said, 2 days, right? And then they rug it for 30 grand. But now it's like, an hour, 5 minutes, they get their $60 and they go. And there is some sense to that. It sounds ridiculous, but like if you live in India, like $60 is like 24, that's like 3,000 rupees, right? It's enough to feed your family for a month. So like it's just an economy of the world that some people will rug something for $60. So like, it's definitely something to consider that, things are not as safe as they used to be. There's too many devs out there that know how to do this stuff. There's too many platforms where you can launch a meme coin without any restrictions. You don't have to be a dev, right? So, the ones that are good, like Pump.tires at the very least has burnt liquidity, just like Pump.fun, right? So they can never technically go to absolute zero, but like still, like if they send directly to the DEX, the founder has enough coins to dump that a lot.
Yeah, bro. At this point, like that, if you're still caught, like no one watching this is doing that. Like it's a different crowd of people that are here because they're desperate. They don't have bags packed. They can't put together a long-term plan. They can't ride out any volatility. It's let me double my bag and leave and find something else. And eventually that game ends to you losing everything.
100%. Yeah, it's not a long, unless you're on the scammer side, it's not a long-term win.
Yeah, minimum wage in Thailand's $10 a day. So yeah, so imagine that if you could, how easy it is for people to come and just launch a scam project and make $200, $300. That's a month's salary right there. And how easy is it to do? So now you could see why it's so prevalent in the space. There's so many desperate people around the world, and crypto has dumb people with money, unfortunately.
And yeah, and like I understand the plight of people in those other countries in that, like, it seems like a lot of money. So like, and do you have empathy for people that you've never met, you've never talked to? Like, a lot of people don't. So yeah, that's where Pulsechain really does well, in that, like, most of the projects on Pulsechain, you can hunt down the founder of that project, and you can probably have a conversation, on Telegram at least, if not a call with that person, if you really had something to talk about. I would say probably 80 to 90% of the projects on Pulsechain, you could get a hold of the founder of that project directly, which yeah, not the case on Solana, I don't think.
Unfortunately, I would agree with you. And that Pulsechain. Well, so what do you think, bro? What do you think the next couple weeks are going to look like here on Pulsechain and in the broader crypto markets?
Well, let's look at the facts. So I think we're going to see, and I'm not a chart guy, I'm going off of what other people I respect say. So like, St. Wolf was doing some charts. He thought like Bitcoin was going to 97K, which is not that terrible, right? Like, we were looking at 15 grand Bitcoin not that long ago, and then he thought it would come up after that. So maybe by the end of November it's 97K, and then in December that's when we get the pump and the year ends on a green. So that's macro that I'm getting from somebody who knows it better than me, which for me, that's my best tool. As far as Pulsechain goes, I think we're going to hear Richard coming up with the details on this MrProve or ProveX, whatever it's going to be called, the sacrifice stuff. I think there may be a bit more of a shakeout, and then I think that Liberty Swap is going to have their railgun in, which will allow a lot of funds to move to the chain incognito. I think Richard's going to use that. I think he's going to pump the shit out of this stuff. People are going to FOMO into that sacrifice, and then the real pump will begin after that. And there's a good chance that all this happens between now and the end of December. I feel like we're going to have a Merry Christmas. But those are just my thoughts, not financial advice, never is.
Yeah, for sure. And so all the majority of the ETFs are going to come out in the next, it was like November 10th to 14th was a big majority. And after Bitcoin launched, it found the ETF, it was like 10 days maybe. And when ETH's ETF launched, I think the bottom was 12 days. So Hedera's ETF launched about 10 days ago. And if all these ones come out in this next week or so, that is right on time to give about 10, 12 days for them to come down, find their bottom around Thanksgiving towards the end of the year. And then December is just straight up. And then maybe heading into next year, like I was saying earlier, where all of the influencers are going to be able to look at the Bitcoin chart and prove that the 4-year cycles are dead. So that's going to be the narrative, I think, in mid-January, early February. And that's going to, if we have some green candles to end the year out and it's looking good, and now you have all the influencers pumping out, the cycles are over, it's broken, it's now a super cycle or extended cycle, it's going to get crazy real quick. And then QE coming in, interest rates are going to be lower. Like, I could see a case, bro, where 2026 is green all year.
Totally. And that would be wild, because that would be something that people don't expect. The crowd would be wrong, right? Which is usually what happens. The crowd expects a 4-year cycle. They get a 5-year cycle. Like, it throws everything off. Money changes hands. Different people are rich. It kind of tracks in a way because it doesn't track.
Yeah, and I think there will be obviously there's going to be some sort of macro event, a war, or something that I think will conveniently happen around the debt restructuring in the end of Q1, early Q2. And that could be a temporary hiccup where everyone's, oh yeah, all right, it's over. And then that's like the 3, 5, 6 month bear market people are talking about. And then by the end of the year, we're ripping again. But I could make a case for anything. And that's why we just got to wait and see how this plays out and just follow the big money.
Yep. And right now there's $700 million or so in the wind. I think that money's going to end up on Pulsechain, based on past things that that those accounts have done. So I feel like Pulsechain is a win because I think there's going to be a big chunk of that $700 million, which and if that 700 million is still in ETH, which I suspect most of it is, and ETH goes to around $6,000. That's $1 billion. It's not 700 million, it's $1 billion. $1 billion is pretty much enough money with the current liquidity situation to 10,000x all the tokens on the chain. It's very, very substantial. So, there's, it, and the math just doesn't make sense to people. Like I can do like a 10x in my head, be like, oh, okay, I have 100,000 of Pulsechain. I do a 10x, I'm a millionaire. Okay, well then let's do 100x. I have $10 million, right? And now do like 1,000x. I have $100 million, right? And 10,000x, right? I have like $1,000 million or 1 billion. So it's like, what? Like, how does that work? Right? It works because of liquidity. It doesn't mean you'll be able to exit with that much money, right? It's
Right.
like too many fat guys trying to get out the same door. But it definitely will make for like serious FOMO. And if you don't think people are going to follow that money in, like see green candles and start buying themselves, I think you're probably wrong. Green candles are the best form of marketing. And if Richard starts deploying, you're going to see bridges coming to Pulsechain that aren't Richard. And then it's going to be really hard to tell whose wallet is what when there's millions of dollars coming from many different parties bridging onto the chain to try to front run Richard Hart before he drops $1 billion on Pulsechain. Like it will end up probably at least with $2 billion coming on, and we'll get twice the pump, which would be fantastic.
And the thing is, he's setting the infrastructure and laying the foundation for this to be possible. It's not like this is just rampant speculation where we need 50 different things to happen and this and that. I mean, he's literally got Interpool to worry. That's the last thing lingering before I think he's ready to go. And I feel like that will conveniently end at a good time.
I feel like based on his recent activity, that thing where he did like the 12-hour AMA session, like pretty much live on Twitter, where he's responding directly to people, and then now he's like launching a new thing. I feel like maybe he's already has some sort of resolution with Interpol that's being finalized by his $10 million lawyers. But yeah, definitely speculation. But we've seen things on the Interpol site be updated that weren't updated for a long time. It just gives you an update date, like this was updated on this date. It doesn't tell you what it was updated to, but like if his Interpol problems are gone, that alone would be extremely bullish. And like really, it's just about money, right? Like they want him to pay some tax in Finland. Maybe he makes a settlement. Maybe he makes it obvious that it's going to cost you more to get this money out of me than it will to give it up. But like I suspect that problem will probably go away. That will coincide with Richard live streaming again, chances are.
Yep, exactly, dude. And people that, if you're down and you're worried about this, if you haven't been here since 2020 or 2019 when Richard was streaming every single day, he's still the same person. You know, all the videos he's put out, the 45-minute one beating the case. I think he did like a New Year's video. That's the same Richard Hart. His message hasn't changed. He just got, I don't know if he purposely got himself into that situation with the SEC or it just happened, but that shit affects every crypto. It bankrupted that library project. Look at what stalled XRP out for 3 years. So when you deal with the SEC, you're dealing with Interpool, and literally we're in a recession. That's the thing too. The highest interest rate spike ever in a recession. QT macro is just god awful. Like you can't expect anything to pump. If you look around crypto, every pump is sold off immediately around crypto. So it's not just a Pulsechain problem. It's everywhere.
Yep.
Yep.
But like, you remember like the past seasons, right? Like we haven't seen FOMO time yet, right? Like, but when that happens, like when there's euphoria in the market, it's going to be the opposite. People are going to refuse to sell because they have short memories, and they're going to feel like, and like some of you watching are going to feel like it's never coming down, right? I should buy more. I should mortgage my house. I should do all these things because like it's been going up for like 3 months straight. It's never coming down. Crypto is the way. There'll be insanely bullish news about this and that, or there'll be insanely bearish news, and the number will keep going up anyway, just because of FOMO. So like, remember this, that like when that time happens, and like you, I'm sure you have the same experience, Adam. Like even though like we understand, you still get the feeling like it's still there, right? It's like it's hard to buy on a bad day. Like it's like you just want to like I want to sell on a bad day, right? Like everything looks terrible. I should sell before it goes down further, is like the your mental response. And I still feel that, even I know it's not the good plan. And when it's going crazy high, and there's way too much more for you, it's way too overbought. You're like, you don't want to sell because you don't want to miss out on the next pump, right? So DCAing in and DCAing out, dollar cost average, like sell 10% on every double, something like that, like because you're not going to catch the top. And that's the other one where people are like, I'm not selling to the top. I'm going to sell at the very top. You're like, no, you're not, dude. You're going to sell somewhere on the way up or somewhere on the way down, and more likely somewhere way on the way down. Because if you're pushing that strategy, you're not going to be right. So like 10% on every double, it might not be perfect, but it won't look terrible.
Yeah, bro, PTGC was a great practice round and a crash course for, you don't know what's happening. That coin was a 40K market cap. Next thing it's up 1,000x. Next thing it's up 2,000x. Once it's up that much, you just expect it's never going back down. You get it in your head where, oh God, if I sell now, it's going to run forever. And you have the opposite fear of when you did of, oh, if I buy now, it's going to keep going down next week. That's easy to do. But when it's pumping hard, it's hard to sell. And then the next day you realize, oh man, it just pumped up again. So the 5% I sold is now gone. It's 3x from there. But you like you said, you're never going to catch the top. It's going to be pure luck that anyone does it, because when you're selling at that moment, you're going to just be skimming off the tops thinking, all right, I'm just taking another percent or two out because we're so overcooked. And when you look back, that day might be the top, but otherwise, bro, it's impossible to tell. As long as you catch on the way up, and once it peaks and it starts coming back down, if you're clipping out 1% a day, even if you're going up, who cares? Like yeah, bro, the mind games it plays on you, it really is hard to sell. It really
Those
is.
are the mind games that are built into our psyches, right? Like that's like because we're human, right? Like everybody feels that same way, even the pros. So yeah, keep it in mind, kids. Though when it comes to the time, most of you are going to be like, oh, Adam and Fast Abdul told me I shouldn't feel this FOMO. I should take some profit, but they were wrong because I'm right. I'm God King of crypto. I'm a genius. Everyone loves me. Like you'll feel different, and you won't want to listen to the people that you listened to in the past because you'll be in euphoria mode. So write it down. Put a sticker, like on on your note on your laptop or something, saying like, remember what Fast Abdul said. And and sell a little bit when you're in that euphoria mode.
Dude, I've just witnessed this over the last 6 months with the Pokemon market. I've been buying and collecting boxes for the last 5 years. I just take them and throw them in my closet. I don't look at them. But the market 6 months ago started getting crazy. And 3-4 months ago, one of my buddies calls me. He's like, bro, these Pokemon things, where do I get it? How do I buy stuff? And next month later, another one of my friends calls me, and they just I'm like, guys, like, you don't want to be buying right now. This is the craziest bull market ever. Like, this can't sustain. And they have blinders on. They have no clue what I'm talking. Oh, bro, come on. This stuff, I'm going to be holding this for 10 years. So it doesn't matter if I overpay now. It's like, okay, just wait a minute until it starts to come down. And then you feel like, oh shit, I'm holding this and it's going to keep crashing. People are going to start selling, but I cannot convince them to not buy right now and hold off because this market is so overcooked. They can't do it. And it's the same exact thing in crypto. When retail starts FOMOing in, they can't accept that, wait a minute, it's been suppressed for the last 3.5 years. This is the first time, or the only 3 weeks out of the last 3 years that the coin has been up here. It's going to keep going up. And that's the trap right there.
Agreed. Yeah, no, it's all built into our programming.
And it's the same thing, bro. When, like, they don't listen. There's no telling my friends right now. I promise you, these boxes that you think are scarce, they will be everywhere in 2 months. No one's going to want them, especially when crypto pumps. These kids are going to start selling their boxes and FOMOing into cryptos like it's their job, and it will come right
It's
back
like with
down.
gold, right? Like people were lining up to buy gold at the top, right? Like where were those people at the bottom, right? Like it's in like we're gonna see that on Pulsechain. Like 50-cent hex is gonna be so much popular than like sub penny hex. It's just how we work. So like, if you're hearing this, you understand and you have dry powder, then like, think about it, look at your options, right? Look at things that appear to be undervalued that you don't want to buy because you feel bad about red candles. Like that's the time you just got to suck it up, like bite your lip and press the buy button sometimes on bad, terrible days, especially when everybody's freaking out. Like we saw with this MrProve thing, there was like right up to before he made the announcement about that had the word sacrifice in it. The Pulsechain pumped and then it dumped right after that, right? So like if you were buying on the pump, right, like and then you were selling on the dump, like you're falling right into it.
Yeah, bro, that feeling of, oh shit, why am I buying this coin right now? I should be buying this other coin that's pumping, everyone's talking about. The feeling of, oh, this sucks. Why did I do this? That's the 100x feeling right there on the other side of it. You're not supposed to be buying coins when it's green. The consensus is great on Twitter. You feel good about this project. That's when you're the exit liquidity and the rug's about to come out. You need to feel that, oh, this sucks. Why am I buying this? It's going to be worth less next week. That's the opportunity. That's the 100x on the other side.
And like on Pulsechain right now, like there's so many things that are undervalued that have like recognizable founders that you can talk to. Like if you just went through and you sorted like a list of like all Pulsechain utility things with known founders, they all look like crap. Like mine looks like crap. Power Cities look like crap. They all look like crap. That like, but like there will probably be a day where that's not the case. And the same for meme coins too. Like if there's insanely undervalued meme coins on Pulsechain that you like, and I'm not saying like that I would go and put like $10,000 into meme coin number 4072, but I might put $5 in, and like if that hits, right, like so think of them as lottery tickets, right? Like I think Somi used to push before he went all in on PDI, the concept of like 90% core, 10% lottery. I'm more of a 5% lottery guy because I'm a little old for the 10%, but like yeah, 5%, $5 on this meme coin, that meme coin, that meme coin, like if I know the founder and I know it was launched on Pumped Up Tires, so that if there's no trap, there's no code that's going to hurt me, then like, yeah, I might do that on a bad, terrible day. And you'll see, especially after there is a titanic dump on something that's otherwise not compromised, but just some whale got out and the chart went down 40%. Most times you see a bounce, right? After the terrible dump. But we have the tools to verify things. Be like, oh, there's a giant seller who dumped something by 40%. Go and see if he's got any left in his wallet. Once that guy's out, that can be the win. And that's what we've been seeing with the shakeout on Pulsechain, right? Like these guys sell down the chart, they bridge out to Ethereum, and they're gone. Every time one of those guys leaves, it's bullish. And every time I know they've left, I buy.
Yeah, bro. That's good. That's such a good point. Like I did it with, I got some Vault, I got some Peacock, I got some peahen, and I got some scatter. And I
Sure.
threw like $100 at each one of them, and that's it. A lottery ticket. And if it does something, great. If not, great. It was $100.
Yeah, and it's, you know, like it's, yeah, just understand your risk ratio, right? So like risk to reward, and then like if I'm putting in bigger money, like, you know, and big money is relative to the person, but like we'll say $10,000, I'm much more likely to put that into a utility project where I really understand, know the founder, talk to the founder, all the things, or a core token, right? Like that's where all my big money plays go, especially at times like this where that stuff looks like crap, but I've gone over the code and it works perfectly, right? That's, you know, that's going to be a long term generational win potentially, right? But like maybe the $5 meme coin play could be too. And like I have a little wallet where like I have some random stuff like dick with butt and things that I just thought were funny that I spent $5 on. And like some of those are definitely down. My $5 is now worth 50 cents, but like some of them are up, and like I'm just gonna let it ride. We'll see what
Mhm.
happens.
Bro, and exactly. And if like they looks like a couple of them are better than other ones, you throw another $5 at it and like double or triple your bag. So now you're in for $10, but you got, you know what, $25 worth of tokens on your original buy if you put that in. So, you know, that's been my strategy too, is just buy the blood. Once with you have a coin you like and
So
it dips down a bunch, add a little to it.
what we should do on one of our shows, Adam, is go over how people can get out of some of these lower liquidity items via things like liquidity providing, doing V3 or other kinds of things, setting limit orders, you know, using different tools available, which are on Pulse Chain, but we can look at them on other chains too. Because like, yeah, like you can get out like $10,000 out of something that only has a $5,000 liquidity pool. It's totally possible if you understand how liquidity works. But you're not going to be able to get $10,000 out of something with $5,000 of liquidity. You'll only be able to get out, you know, probably $4,500 of your $10,000 if you just dump it in one giant red candle. So, like, there's some tricks of the trade that are not you don't have to be a dev to do it. You just have to take your time, press the button slowly, do tests. Pulse Chain is great for tests because like it's costing you like, you know, whatever, a penny per transaction. So you can test something with $1 before you test it with your $10,000 bag. But like, yeah, we can show people how to set up to exit with effectively without selling, so that they're not dumping a chart and they're also not you know, not ruining their chances of getting their full amount out. And once MrProve launches, that may provide another way, because you may be able to put up $5,000 of this meme coin against $5,000 US dollars, like, you know, possibly directly into your bank account, and have somebody buy that with zero slippage, which may make them happy, and you get $5,000 zero sell slippage. So that could be another use case for MrProve. It'd be exiting your meme coins from Pulse Chain.
Yeah, bro. And or even someone says, look at you go and you dump that whole bag, you're eating 34% slippage. I'll buy your bag right now for 30%. And that way the coin doesn't get dumped. All the other holders are fine. And you got what you would have gotten nuking the chart, and everyone's happy. I like it.
It works.
Yeah.
But
Well, I
yeah, we
like that
can
idea
like it
though.
wouldn't take much to teach people that level of knowledge that they'd need to do that. So yeah,
Yeah.
we can maybe do that in 15 minutes of one of our shows. You know, and when things start to get a little higher than right now. Now is maybe not the time.
Yeah, no, that's a good idea. I definitely, because there's some cool, I think, like V3 liquidity pools or something where they auto range. I know, so that stuff's being built on Pulse Chain. So the technology's coming, bro. Things are really coming into shape on Pulse Chain. I'm super excited, bro. And that's a good
There
idea. We
actually is
should do.
such a thing on Pulse Chain already, that basically nobody knows about, but it was from another team. I'll have to research it. One of my dev friends sent it to me, but I hear there could be limit orders coming, which is another great way to do it. I think Switch was talking about limit orders, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. Limit
That
orders
could be a
come.
good play.
Yeah. Yeah, bro. There he, look at that. There he is right there.
Huh.
Maybe
Speak of
he
the
can
devil.
come on and join us when we do that stream with like liquidity providing stuff. Maybe.
Yeah, that'd be good. Yeah, he understands. Let's do it.
Yeah, yeah, definitely good to have smart people on stream explaining it because this is the opportunity right here. You want to find stuff when everyone else is looking other places or doesn't understand it. That's when the opportunity is, when no one's here, people are fudding it, or you're just early.
Yeah, Dewey Scum's got another good one there. The SolidX trader bot has limit orders. Yes, it does. So
There we
there's
go.
there's certain safety things you want to do there, but like I believe that to be legitimate. I know that Firewhale paid a heck load of money to basically buy the rights to have the SolidX trader bot on Pulsechain. It's from like a known team that deploys that on multiple chains. So it's it's a bought and paid for toy that doesn't charge very much, and you can set limit orders and do all kinds of stuff. But yeah, again, you got to read the documents. They have really good documents, but like you need to do the research. Just don't start pressing buttons.
Yeah, yeah, that typically doesn't end well. But,
Yeah, don't crypto when sad. Don't crypto when drunk. And don't crypto when you're even if you're too happy. Maybe it's not a good time to crypto.
That is true. That is true. Well, we've been going for an hour, 40 minutes, 940 people in here. Maybe Saturday is the night, then better than Friday, because we got big crowd in.
I don't think we have any competition. We're the only show in town.
Hey, well, maybe Saturday nights will be our new night moving forward.
Deal.
Yeah. Well, good stuff, bro. Appreciate you coming on. We got some exciting stuff in the works here. Richard Hart is creating some more controversy with a new sacrifice. I'm sure more information will come out, and
thanks, Richard.
We'll be all happy in a couple weeks for sure.
I would hope so.
Yes, sir. All right, guys. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. If you're not subscribed to Fast, give him a follow. If you're not subscribed to me, I don't give a shit. I don't care. Follow Fast. He's a man. We'll see you guys next Saturday.
Yeah. Up in the building. Yeah, we lighting up the scene. Crypto gems on radar, chasing every dream. Do your own research, that's the golden theme. We bring the facts, no cap, we keep it clean. Scrolling through the charts, got my eyes on the rise. Viber got the info, got me feeling so wise. No hype, just the truth, yeah, we cutting through lies. Sharpen knowledge on the daily, watch the profits multiply. From Bitcoin to the altcoins, we digging for gold. Community so strong, never do what you're told. Dior, that's the motto, let the story unfold. We ain't selling you a dream, just the facts to behold. Vibrant finance, shining in the night. Crypto gems, yeah, we find them right. Do your research, keep the future bright. Vibrant got your back, we ignite your flight. No pump and dump, just the realest advice. We break it all down, make it simple and nice. Every tip, every trick, got you rolling the dice. But with knowledge in your pocket, you can win every price. Vibrant finance, shining in the night. Crypto gems, yeah, we find them right. Do your research, keep your future bright. Vibrant got your back, we ignite your flight. So when you're lost in the crypto sea, Vibra's the light, come vibe with me. Stay smart, stay sharp, and you'll always see the best gems shine with transparency.